team? Welcome back to Big Boys Boxing. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2020. And hope y'all are enjoying or enjoyed your holidays if you're back at work. So today just a couple of roundup subjects. The things that are going on in the heavyweight division and a couple of other tidbits as well for other divisions. So firstly, today in the news, Tyson Fury is moaning about Alexander Usyk being put above him in the WBO rankings. He's attacking Val Casal, the president. All unwarranted. Tyson knows the rules. If an undisputed super champion for WBO comes up from a weight class, they get the mandatory on request. Same thing happened with Terence Crawford when he became mandatory for Jeff Horn, right, at 147. But anyways, Tyson ain't got a leg to stand on here. He's moaning like a little bitch. Alexander Usyk has come out and said, "Stop crying, Tyson. You're a big boy now, not a little boy." The WBO have followed their rules, which is more than I can say for other governing bodies. So, like I said, Tyson knows the rules. He's mandatory for the WB cancer. You can't be ranked in other governing bodies if you're a mandatory for one governing body. Simple as that. So if Tyson has an issue, he needs to take it up with Mauricio Solomon, because he's the one who installed Tyson as the WB cancer mandatory without fighting a final eliminator, without fighting even a top 15 ranked WB cancer opponent. So Tyson, if you've got an issue, go and cry to Mauricio Solomon, because him and his governing body are the ones who don't follow their rules. You never know what they're going to do because they don't follow their rules. Hence, for the next 12 months, I will be calling them the WB cancer. And I'll be doing my best to not talk about them as much as I possibly can. Not quite a boycott, but certainly detrimental. And I hope others can follow suit. So other stuff in the recent news, Adam Kownacki looks like he's going to be fighting Robert Helenius on the 7th of March. Headlining a card in the States. So let's get it. It's not a bad fight, but I certainly think the matchmaking could have been a lot better for Adam Kownacki. Reason being, he's fighting a guy who got knocked out by a guy who Kownacki's already beaten. Granted, when Helenius and Gerald Washington fought, Helenius was winning the fight comfortably till he gassed, got caught with a good shot and got knocked the fuck out. And for a fight against Adam Kownacki, Robert Helenius is going to need a hell of a lot more stamina than when he fought Gerald Washington. Gerald Washington does not bring half the pressure Kownacki brings. And we know pressure gasses fighters out, right? And they've also stated that it's going to be the main event. Geez, it better be a pretty good card to prop up a lackluster main event. But I can see why Kownacki wouldn't mind facing Helenius. I mean, he's faced Gerald Washington, Charles Martin, 6'5", 6'6". Helenius is 6'7.5". He's getting up there with those tall opponents like Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, right? Getting in some practice against some really tall fighters. But he's going to have to be a little bit careful against Helenius, because I think Robert Helenius has got the most powerful punch of anybody that Kownacki has faced. Granted, if Helenius can't get the job done within 6, he's going to gas. He's going to get stopped again, I think. But like I say, Helenius has got a very hard punch. Kownacki's going to have to be careful. And that's not really something that's in his style. He just comes forward with reckless abandonment, pressure at all costs. It could cost him. But interesting fight. I'll watch it, of course. I'm a real boxing fan, so I will watch it. Another news. Joseph Parker is going to be fighting on the 29th of February on the Vargas versus Garcia card. Be on the undercard. Opponent is going to be announced this week, apparently. So the word was the opponent was supposed to be announced last week, but they're having trouble getting it across the line or something. Joseph's done interviews expressing his frustration with only having one fight last year. Of course, the issue of the spider bite that he got complicated things for a scheduled fight in October against Derek Chisora, but this shit can't be helped. He got bit by a spider. The doctor didn't clear him to fight, so he couldn't fight. Simple as that. He's ready to go now. He wants to get 3 fights in this year, so that's good news. Apparently Robert Helenius was one of the possible opponents, but he's obviously out of the picture now that he's going to be fighting Kownacki. One that I wouldn't mind seeing, and I think is a pretty good style matchup, and this guy that I'm thinking of has made statements saying he's coming for a title shot. He wants a title shot this year. He wants to attack the top of the division. And this fighter is Zhilei Zhang, who's based in Vegas as well, I believe. So it's a very makeable fight. Zhilei Zhang, 6'6" southpaw, hits hard, has a pretty fluid style, somewhat like Joseph Parker. So it could be a very interesting fight. I would like to see that one made. But we've got some pending issues, of course, as well, with Anthony Joshua trying to petition the WBO to allow a step aside for Alexander Usyk to fight him later on in the year. The IBF have given Joshua and Pulev till the 31st of January to make a deal for their fight, so they're obviously going to force that fight first. And if Joshua isn't successful with petitioning, and the fact that Alexander Usyk might want to take on Parker being a possibly easier opponent for a world title, there's the possibility that Usyk versus Parker being number 1 and number 2, if that WBO belt gets vacated, that could be the fight February 28th. But it's getting down to pretty short notice for both guys. I think it's 8 weeks until the date now. So realistically, I don't think that fight is viable with the time frame available. So I think fighting Zhilei Zhang for Joseph Parker is not too bad a preparation for a fight against Alexander Usyk. Yeah, they are 3 inches different in height, but they're both southpaws. They're both pretty quick. And like I say, I think it'll be a good preparation fight for Joseph Parker if he's possibly going to get a shot at a vacant belt against Alexander Usyk down the track further in the year. So yeah, that's my opinion on that one. I don't know who else would be available and willing to take on Joseph Parker in the States. That's a matchroom fighter or someone who's going to fight on DAZN, you know. So we'll see what happens there, but expect an announcement this week, and it will be interesting. So moving on to a couple of other little bits. Mairis Briedis and Yonir Dorticos. The final of the WBSS Cruiser tournament has been made. It's gonna happen. I'm not sure of the date off the top of my head. Yeah, no, I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's an interesting fight as well. Quite interested to see how that one will go, but it's a little way down the track yet. But one other little bit I'd like to talk about is an up-and-coming prospect who's actually fighting today. Sonny Konto. I believe he's 6'6" as well. American, but he's helping Tyson Fury prepare for Deontay Wilder. And Sonny has a fight today. Not a hard opponent, obviously he's still on the rise, but I watched him last time he fought and he looks fundamentally sound, fairly decent, and very humble. He's been in Tyson's camp last time around as well, and seems to be really willing to take on any skill improvements he can, being involved with the camp with Tyson Fury. So be interesting to see where he goes. But yeah, there was one other fight yesterday. I can't remember the guy's name. I'll just call him AD because those are his initials. A Russian fighter who was 18-0 with 17 knockouts fought Keith Barr yesterday. It wasn't televised that I managed to find anyway, but he got another stoppage. I think it was the third round of 6. Moves on to 19-0 with 18 KOs. So keep an eye out for this guy as well. It's another big dude with heavy hands, 6'6". I haven't actually managed to see him fight yet, but looks good on paper. So maybe one to keep an eye out for as well. But 19-0, and he's fought absolute gash opponents. So, you know, another one on the rise that looks good, but we need to see him against somebody a bit higher quality to get a gauge on him. So yeah, that's about all that's going on for now. So hope you've enjoyed the little update. There is some boxing on today. Jaime Munguia is going to be fighting Spike O'Sullivan at 160 pounds. Looking forward to that matchup. I like watching Spike O'Sullivan. He always comes to fight, so you can guarantee that it's going to be full of action. Jaime Munguia, you know, he's very green, very young. He's another one who comes forward, reckless abandonment, takes a lot of shots but puts out a shitload of punches. Spike can punch though, so could be an interesting fight. I do expect Munguia to come away with the win, but Spike himself says, I'm not here to test Jaime Munguia, I'm here to beat him. So like I say, he always comes to fight and it's always entertaining. Looking forward to watching that fight. We also have Joe Smith Jr. taking on Jesse Hart as well. Not a bad fight, and of course there's undercard fights for both of them as well. So yeah, looking forward to today's boxing. And yeah, that's about it from me. So let us know in the comments below, who do you think Joseph Parker's opponent might be? Do you like the sound of Zhilei Zhang? as Tyson Fury got a leg to stand on, moaning to Val Carcel from the WBO about not being, well, having Alexander Usyk placed above him. What else? I'd like some opinion on. How do you think the Kovnarski versus Helenius fight will go? And we can get some conversation going. So, hope you've enjoyed. Catch you in the next one. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. This is Big Boys Boxing, and I'm out. So.